let's get our next session started. Our speakers are Brynne Henn and Michael Jung. And actually, I'd prefer you guys introduce yourselves. So let's get started. Context.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Brynne Henn. I work at Niantic, which you've probably heard of if you've ever played Pokemon Go. Creators like InWorld as well as Ready Player Me to kind of see what's possible in on-demand Gen AI experiences in AR and VR.
Perfect. Michael?
Hey, my name is Michael. I work at DeepBrain AI. We provide AI avatars. Well, we're going to talk about AI avatar all today. And then I'm a CFO and then manage the whole global business, DeepBrain AI. Wonderful.
Okay, well let's get into it. So first topic is effective Gen AI avatar use cases and success stories. So what specific use cases of AI generated avatars have had the most successful impact on connecting with audiences? What has been your biggest success story with using AI generated avatars to connect with audiences? Brynne, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so we've done 3 big ones this year. 2 were education or child focused, and 1 was more straight up selling. The first one is called Wall, which was a owl-based avatar designed for both headsets and mobile that people could launch and ask any questions they wanted to about the life cycle of a redwood, using it. Basically, the breadth of questions and answers that people got of the full cycle of the redwood was really engaging for both kids and people all the way up to 50. The other one we did that was from our customer, Chronic Sellers, was for Halloween. They launched an avatar for their, basically a skeleton sommelier is what they called it. And it made wine a bit more approachable to a younger Gen Z, younger millennial audience, where they could ask what they should be doing for their Halloween parties, get this interactive experience that wasn't so stiff, and in a way that made them want to actually purchase the materials. And then our last one was more a fun project that I spawned, which was our Ask Santa Anything, which was aimed for parents to do with their children at any time, where Santa could fly down, land, and they could ask any question they wanted. And it was a delight to see them ask everything from, is a reindeer a pet, to can you get me this for Christmas and that for Christmas? And what was exciting is that we thought it would be kind of strange for kids at first. But the minute that Santa landed, they actually asked their questions so quickly, I needed to teach them to slow down so it had a chance to actually respond. And they loved seeing it and would do it 2 or 3 times at once.
That's amazing engagement. And it is exciting to know that Santa perhaps is real. I haven't thought about that in a while. Michael, biggest success story?
Well, we are the AI avatar providers, and we clone real person. We provide synthetic face. Eventually, there's 2 applications. One is generative AI video solution tool. So you don't necessarily have to film a real person. Just input the script or text, output the video. So currently, 12 TV stations using our solution, they save 70% of the video production costs, 70% of saving their time. So currently, we have around huge integrating. Well, Brynne also explained about the AI avatar conversational service, and the integrating with chatbot like large language model like ChatGPT, Llama, those things. What we can support is anything what we giving the text from the large foundational model, how much we can provide a fast synthesis, reactively fast.
To production that you can share, any learning experiences?
I think one that we tried or worked with a customer on this year was to try and create basically a text-to-image holiday card as a way to create more dynamic greetings, save a bit money on making something that's more like environmentally friendly, but still do your standard, your dentist is happy to see you, please come back, happy holidays. And the challenge, the other times it would just look like your child drew on it really quickly and then handed it to you and said it was success. And so we kind of pulled that back because the quality control with that tool was
something that's not production ready.
Well, for us, is face of avatar. Currently, we responding more different of emotional faces, but currently our technology is not yet there yet. But that is also one of our pipeline that we want to deliver in sooner. And the other thing is, when we clone the avatar, we actually film a person, and all those kind of gestures based on what we have filmed. But later, what from the avatars.
Interesting. So we talked about success, we talked about failure. On that note, how do you define success for a generative AI avatar? What feedback mechanisms are in place to help you determine which features are successful? Brynne?
Yeah. So for us, so at least this year in trying avatars, they wanted of questions and engagement that they had with each avatar to an app.
Our side is 90% of the Korea, for example, anchor that AI. The other thing is the conversational AI avatar, well, Brynne also doing in that space is eventually in the near future, when you go to any retail store or market, you will see more AI avatar. It's because like the fact is those, especially like developed countries having a problem with finding a part-time worker. So still need some devices have to engage with the end customer to assist them. And the other thing is in the next future car, you have your AI avatar will assist you in the car things too.
Next question, customization and user interaction. In what ways can AI-generated avatars be customized to allow for user interaction? Discuss the role of personalization and user engagement in creating avatars that foster stronger connection with the audience.
Do you want to take that first?
Well, for us side is, so when we are the most fastest growing company, especially AI avatar, when you type Google DeepBrain AI, and our use case is really direct and straight. When one of our customers see AI banker or AI receptionist, AI lobby leader, they just can see it, how this AI avatar can giving the value add. But later, they realize what we are focusing on, the text to image, a text to video. When we have a text from the chatbot, we generate the AI avatar responding it. Later, they realize, oh, there's another project they have to build this chatbot. For example, like it could be intent-based or it could be foundational ChatGPT Llama 2. So later, for example, when we're talking to customer center or using the chatbot, we usually want to talk to real agent. It's because we have agents that's not going to be satisfied to giving all the information. But those foundational AI model, we have a hope that this can be the end goal, like eventually can be beneficial for our services, right? So later what this thing is, how can we make more smarter bot system from the chatbot, and that goes to our AI avatar solution can be generated and can showing and enhancing their digital engagement service, because eventually what they want to do is they want to be more optimally operated their system, like harmonize. They don't want to replace all the human. What they want to do is they want to be more optimally harmonized with real man forces with the AI avatar.
For personalization? Yeah.
Customization advantages.
What I have found cool is we've worked very closely this year with In-World AI, and their whole focus is basically on creating those non-player characters you're used to in a game, which always have this back lore. They're going to have the right responses to things. And what we've seen using them versus other tools is that when we create a unique scenario for AR or VR, where we have a character like our owl example, instead of just giving a response like a teacher would on a redwood forest or things like that, because we're able to personalize and customize, it feels more engaging. We could ask silly questions like what its favorite band was, and instead of just searching and saying a great answer of Taylor Swift, it actually remembered it was an owl and told us that its favorite band was the Eagles, and can make puns and things like that where you can hear audiences actually laugh and then ask another follow-up question and feel like they're actually a part of it instead of being spoken to, which I think often is what happens when you're just using a language model and texting and asking questions. It's not giving you the personality that you'd want to actually engage with it. And so I'm excited to see how adding those parameters can continue to make exciting experiences.
Emotional intelligence in avatars. How can AI be employed to infuse emotional intelligence into avatars, enabling them to connect with audiences on a deeper level? Share successful examples of implementations where avatars effectively conveyed emotions. Michael or Brynne? Michael, how about you do it?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, our AI solution is when we're giving the text from chatbot, we have one persona that's going to be expressions, for example. But I usually talk with ChatGPT a lot, and I also usually talk with my avatar, even that was into a chatbot. So I know that brain is coming from ChatGPT. For example, I asked like, silly questions like, I let's say the avatar name is Michael, and then I say like, hey Michael, I don't know why I have to be work this late, and what is this? What is this meaning, for example? And then that ChatGPT, the text is giving from our engine, especially one avatar, the character will be have conversation with me. But when I see that faces, I feel like kind of relief, for example. But when I just read the text, for example, it's just could be neutral because ChatGPT doesn't have much diverse of emotional with the text. But well, I don't know, like it's gonna be more really hard yet how that text can be expression that emotions in the AI. Large language model and also the AI avatar.
Yeah. I think for us in AR, we have a little bit of advantage because it can kind of move around a bit and give some gestures. But one of the big pieces that we needed to work on for like our Santa model was actually stress testing questions. Because if Santa responds with a bit of a blank slate to questions, that's not going to feel real. That's not going to feel engaging. And I think the big role of these avatars is actually to think through what is the character that you're creating, what would be a normal response. And one of the things that we hadn't thought about, you know, we put in the lore of reindeer, when he flies, how he gets around the world. But we had our team ask questions who didn't build it. And one of the questions they asked is about religion or different parts of the world. And while an LLM can respond correctly and say like, okay, I don't answer that. Right. If Santa said that to a kid, I don't have an answer for you, that would lose the magic. And so we stress tested it and gave it the emotions that Santa could then respond correctly and say, I love all children. I see all the kids in the world, so that we can give it the right emotional intelligence. But that takes a combination of both AI and human to think through what some of the questions and stressors would be.
It's interesting too. It seems like many of the use cases at Niantic with the avatars they're quite clearly characters.
Yeah.
And this is how the engagement is working.
Yeah.
At DeepBrain AI, it seems often you may be going for more of a photorealistic approach, right, which is a different angle altogether. It's interesting.
And you have a little bit more freedom in characters because you can mess up without feeling like, oh, you broke the magic of a human.
That's interesting, yeah. Understanding audience preferences. How can marketers use AI to analyze audience preferences and behaviors to create AI-generated avatars that resonate with specific target demographics? Share insights on tailoring avatars to diverse audience segments. Yeah. Brynne.
So we've only, not all of these are in production, but some of our earlier conversations is just kind of looking at age ranges. So some of our older audience and clients that focus on more millennials, elder millennials, they want more photorealistic. They want humans. Whereas Gen Z seems to really love having characters that represent them that don't look anything like them. And so it's been interesting to think about how do you tailor to the market what it looks like first, and then the second is what are the actual responses? How does it answer? Can they be the same for different age ranges and it's just the avatar that looks different? Or do you need a unique experience for each customer segment? And figuring that out, I think, is going to be key for a lot of our customers to both succeed in their campaigns, but also in making something that's cost effective. So they're not creating a brand new avatar, a brand new brain, a brand new experience for every single campaign and audience.
Right. For our use cases, it's going to be more specific. It's because mostly our clients are 500 Fortune company and they have their own brand ambassador, and they usually want to clone who they are, their existing brand ambassador, because usually they use for one-time TV commercial or using the photo image and do the banner marketing. But when we clone that, let's say we clone you, Jackson, for example, and then you're one of the famous celebrities, and all the folks want to talk with you, right? So that is like how the marketer, those guys want to use our solutions. And the other thing is like personal messaging service. We cannot ask you to read the same content to calling 10,000 different names, right? That's ridiculous. But using a solution that is possible, and then when they calculate their return of investment, they're thinking of their KPI, because mostly all the companies spend their own budget how they want to do marketing. For example, let's say $10,000 they have doing it, and they have their own KPI when they spend it for $10,000 doing the past way of the marketing campaign versus investing with our AI avatar solutions. And then they see what is the difference of the marketing of the KPI. And it's so obvious. They can see like more attractions, for example, more leads, more inbound calls, all that stuff was.
But do you find it useful to disclose in like an advertising use case? What do you think, Michael?
Well, we have done many things, those kind of campaign. And currently I'm talking with the media company. They also want to clone one of their sports athlete, for example. And well, mostly of normal people, what we got the feedback is they want to talk with that avatar, even that is AI. For example, like let's say, Otani is one of the famous baseball player. It have huge benefit in here in US and also Japan market. So in that case, if they thinking spending those IP rights to using that faces with cloning that avatar, the market like us, that is more positive videos, news videos. And though
Brynne, anything important to share? I don't know if I want to ask you exactly the same question as Michael, but anything important to share on disclosures or anything around that?
I think for us, sometimes our experiences are made for kids or under the overview and under 13. So for us, we try to be really cautious of that. And then if it is an experience where we think it should be under the phone, that kind of a little bit more safe with their data.
Let's thank Brynne Henn and Michael Jung for joining this.